Hi, my name is Joseph South, and welcome to my fourth social media post. Today, we are going to be talking about Hyperloop and about how it could be and might possibly be a public transportation of the future. With the Hyperloop transportation system, one of the things we want to go ahead and look at is human health. Now, in terms of human mental health, the speed of this train would be absolutely insane. You could get from places like New York to Washington, D.C. in 30 minutes or less, which would drastically reduce stress. I think it even could allow people who like to travel more the opportunity to do so, because it would raise morale. But a negative that this actually could have on human health has to do with the pressure that the human body itself withstands. The fastness that it goes in the tunnel, and having to pay attention to humans inside of the train not being able to see in the outside world could mess with their rhythm, with their balance in such a way where it would actually be damaging. So they're doing tests on that right now to kind of look into what would be best for safety. So it's still very experimental, so we're not sure the safety sides of it for human health, but they're currently doing research on that as we speak. For environment, we're going to look at the comparison that we have right now with public transportation, which is a lot of carbon emissions. We have a lot of gasoline being used from cars, buses, etc., that are going into the air. With Hyperloop, you don't really have any of those carbon emissions. They're not going to be going into the air at all. It's run on a hydrogen type system, so you would actually not have any carbon go into the air whatsoever, and it wouldn't be hurtful to the environment because there won't be any carbon emissions. And it actually would just be a huge plus, because with carbon emissions being at an all-time high since the COVID crisis, having something like this could drastically change the emissions in the air, which would be amazing. And if you were able to implement it in more and more cities, you could maybe get close to eradicating emissions altogether. You would have to, really work against getting rid of cars, but who knows? It's possible. Finally, we're going to look at how the Hyperloop system would affect energy. Now, there's a pro and there's a con to this. The pro would be is that it actually could save energy by up to 20%. It would be a lot better than other travel things, such as like airplanes and buses. So that would be a really big plus. 20% is a big number, and that could change. That could be implemented in both passenger systems and in freight type systems. So that's really good. The not so good news is that the effect it could have on an electric grid, the amount of energy that it would pour out over a 24-hour period, putting into account the slow times of the day, but also the peak times of the day. It would obviously be lower for passengers, higher for freight. It could put the grid into a lot of stress. It would impact electrical generating and transmission equipment, power quality, and long-term maintenance. So it could really hurt the system a lot. But I think they're working on more research to find out if this could be a viable system. So I guess they will figure it out, because I think if they could figure out a way to energize it more, to provide more energy, it would be perfect. It would be great. So yeah, they are figuring it out.